Seán Heuston, born Jack Heuston, and sometimes referred to as J.J.Heuston, was an Irish rebel and member of Fianna Éireann who took part in the Easter Rising of 1916. With about 20 volunteers, he held the Mendicity Institution on the River Liffey for over 2 days, though it was originally only intended to be held for 3 to 4 hours. He was executed by firing squad on the 8th of May in Culmanim jail. Early life. Heuston was born in Dublin on the 21st of February 1891 and educated by the Christian Brothers. He worked as a railway clerk in Limerick and while they took an active part in Fianna Éireann, of which he was an officer. Seán Heuston arranged for members who could not afford to buy the uniforms to do so by paying small weekly sums. Under his guidance, the Fianna in Limerick had a course which encompassed not only drilling, which was made up of signalling, scout training and weapons training, but also lectures on Irish history and Irish classes. Irish volunteers. In 1913 Heuston was transferred to Dublin Fianna, and was appointed to the Emitzlua. He went on to join the ranks of the Irish volunteers and played a prominent part in the Easter Rising. Heuston was the officer commanding of the volunteers in the Mendicity Institution on the south side of Dublin City. Acting under orders from James Connolly, Heuston was to hold this position for 3 or 4 hours, to delay the advance of British troops. This delay was necessary to give the headquarters staff time to prepare the defences. Having successfully held the position for the specified period, he was to go on to hold it for over 2 days, with 26 volunteers, with his position becoming untenable against considerable numbers, and a building almost completely surrounded. He sent a dispatch to Connolly informing him of the position. The dispatch was carried by 2 volunteers, P.J. Stevenson and Sean McLaughlin, who had to avoid both sniper fire and British troops across the city. It was soon after sending this dispatch that Heuston decided to surrender. The surrender. Seamus Brennan, a member of the Mendicity Institution garrison under Heuston, gave the following account of the decision to surrender. Prisoners. According to the statement given by Seamus Brennan to PR's F. McLaughlin, author of Last Words, the British troops were infuriated when they saw the pygmy force that had given them such a stiff battle and caused them so many casualties. Seamus Brennan never saw Seán Heuston again after being transferred to Arbor Hill Detention Barracks. Court-martial. Heuston had been transferred to Richmond Barracks, and on the 4th of May 1916, he was tried by court-martial. On the Sunday, the 7th of May 1916, the verdict of the court-martial was communicated to him that he had been sentenced to death and was to be shot at dawn the following morning. Execution. Prior to his execution he was attended by Father Albert O.F.M. Cap in his final hours. Father Albert wrote an account of those hours up to and including the execution. Father Albert concluded,